play through the high road with and without the ropes, which is a common method to get through this level faster. It's also a little tricky, so I completely understand wanting to go ropeless. Let's get started. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware if you've beaten this level once, this level is considered one of the most difficult levels in the original Crash in Sane Trilogy. There's kind of a good reason for it, as you are going to see when my death counter comes up, which is the reason why this episode in particular took so long to get out. Okay, first off, what we're going to do, since I'm sure you can see my mouse here, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have Crash run just a little bit to the left. If you can have him spin around here, that would be great, but if not, that's not really necessary. Then we're going to want to run for those icy platforms here, after which we are going to jump around here, following the very top of my mouse. Or I guess around here would technically be better, but I don't really want to point at Crash. But, the reason I say this is because in Crash in Sane Trilogy, Crash actually has a bit of a Donkey Kong Country vibe to his jump, so you can actually jump a split second after being over a ledge, and you'll be okay. You don't have a lot of time for this, but you have some time. Let's let the video play through for a bit. Like that. Oops, the video didn't stay in full screen. Now for these platforms, it's not too big a deal, but hold on. As you're going to see right here, that boar, that's our next major obstacle. Now, Crash could make his jump over to this wooden platform over here, but if you do so, the boar is going to hit you. I guarantee you, the boar will hit you. So what you want to do instead is make a little tiny hop over to this little platform, which will give the boar just a little time to run forward. Then by the time you land on this, you should be safe to jump onto that platform and then onto these and beyond that. Like this. Easy. Now, I actually kind of screwed this up when I went through the game because I didn't know at the time. There's a faster way to do this than how I did it here in the roped version. Now, what I did here is I spin it, then I jump through here, which, to be fair, is still fairly quick, but this is the ropeless version. This way to do it is faster. So what you want to do in this is you will begin a spin, then you jump, and if you do your timing right, you should land just on top of this metal box, since it will be falling now because this crate is broken, so it'll be down around here, and you'll be jumping up around here. And you'll land like that, and you'll be able to keep running like that, which will save you a little bit of time since you don't have to wait. Okay, let's go back to the... Oop, too far. Yeah, let's go back here. Now this segment here, in the roped version, I wound up just spinning it and walking across the rope for the first time. But you don't actually have to do that if you don't feel too comfortable with the ropes and you're only wanting to do it for what you absolutely have to. You can actually just make this jump normally. Although that's actually a pretty easy place to practice. So, pick whatever you want. So now this segment right here is actually the first spot where you absolutely have to jump on the ropes. Now what you want to do here is spin that turtle like you see. You can see it off there in the distance. Whee! Then you jump on either the left or the right hand side. I almost always pick the right just because that's how I've trained myself, I guess. You will land in... That was a very dangerous spot to land in. Normally you want to be further to the left than that. But it did work. Although, I'm pretty sure if I'd kept running, I would have fallen immediately. So I had to jump off, and then I went to land on here, like that. And you just do a spin jump on there. Normal jumps here, and we're going to want to break that one Aku Aku crate in one spin, which isn't a particularly difficult thing to do, but whatever. This is another jump that you have to jump on the turtle if you're going to do a jump or the ropeless. But we're doing ropes right now, so what we're going to do instead, we're going to spin it, jump on the ropes. Again, I picked the right hand side because that's what I'm most comfortable with. And if you're feeling comfortable enough, you can keep running along the side like this. I personally wasn't feeling comfortable enough to try that. So instead I just wound up going with jumping down and then coming back up like this. After we land here, we're going to spin that turtle out of the way, and then there's not really much getting around it. You have to jump on that turtle there. unless you are really lucky and you can either A, crash on this rope and jump over this guy here, which is doable. It's not impossible, it's just a bit of a gamble. Or you're gonna have to jump off the turtle onto this turtle, which is considerably easier. It's a little slower, but in this level it's okay to take a few precautions. Now this bit here with the boar, it's okay to be a little paranoid here, and actually this is probably the best spot in the level to lose your mask if you're going to do it, because there's actually another boar right after this, so you can use your invincibility frames to go through just like that. You'll be totally fine. It's completely safe. I don't think there's any more boars left in the level. There's still a few turtles, but whatever. This segment here is not even really worth jumping on the ropes. Just jump on top of that turtle. I mean, it's already flipped, so there's no real reason not to. You can spin that one and jump on the rope here. Jump on that first one, skip the second, go in the third, jump on this one. We're going to try to land on the ice. Jump off of that. And this is the part I know a lot of people have trouble with, but really it kind of comes down to just practice. Figure out what Crash's jump arc is. If you're not feeling comfortable, then go at them one at a time. That's all I gotta say about that. We're just gonna do the rest of this legitimately, and there we go. Crash beat the ropeless. I didn't beat my best time for this level, and spoiler alert, I'm not going to wind up beating my best time for the ropeless either. Even though I think I probably could have done it if I hadn't screwed up somewhere. But anyway, that's it for the roped version. And now we're going to move on to the ropeless here in just a second. I left this hanging here for a second, so let's just let it go. Okay, and he said, okay, I didn't know I left it that long. Let's just skip it then. Okay, here we go. Now we're at ropeless. So, actually, first off, I need to back up a little bit. Because, unlike the normal version, in ropeless, there's timing synchronization involved. So, what we have to do here is just like within Sandy Beach, we're going to watch Crash's hand. It's not somewhere between 2 and 3 this time, though. I counted around 7. Although, another good way would be to watch the clock, because it always seems to be consistently in the same spot, so just watch how much the clock rotates by. But once Crash gets to around 7, then you start running, and you start running fast. Everything so far is going to be the same as it was in the roped version, because we did the same. I already told you how I did this jump in the ropeless version. I still think that's slightly faster, but only by a little bit, so don't be too bummed if you can't get it. Now, like I said before, we're not doing ropes now, so I have to make that jump. Now, as for this version, I have to jump on the turtle. And that turtle and the next turtle are the reason we had to wait. Because that turtle, and especially the next one coming up, have a really bad habit of being right at the very back if you try to do this as soon as you spawn. And that's where a lot of my deaths wind up coming from. But as you can see, since I waited, look where it is. It's right where we need it to be. So you jump on it, you land, and you can just spin and then jump like that. It's a very tight landing, but you can make it. Now, these jumps are fairly simple. You can make that jump. It's a little far, but don't be scared. You can do it. And just like with the ropeless version here, it's probably best just take a hit so you can get rid of this boar without having to worry about anything. As we see from the white box in the sky, we're getting close to the end, so I know there's just a little bit left. Just going to go through this part of the level like normal. And this is the part that makes me think that, yeah, if I hadn't screwed up, I could have totally beaten my time, but I'm going to explain this because it looks like I'm about to die. And I actually thought I was going to die when I was playing through this, but because the turtle's hitboxes are kind of wonky in Sane Trilogy, you can actually make this jump. As you or well, let's back up again. As you can see, I am technically almost completely over the bridge, but I haven't started falling yet. So I start jumping. And right here, you want to jump. And I think the game tells you this on its own, but since it is different from the original games, I will bring it up here. High jumping works a little different in Sane Trilogy than it did in the original. So you have to hold down the jump button, and as long as you're holding it, you will get high. As opposed to the originals where it was based on timing. So because the high jumps, I think, can let you skip that second turtle. I missed it, but I think you can make it. On these ones, I just play it safe. You have to make the high jump for these last ones, but the first few are fine. Gotta jump up there to avoid saving some time. And there we go. We're done with the ropeless now. So, thank you all for watching, and enjoy my very long death reel, and please understand why it took me so long to get this video out. I know it's not an editing masterpiece, but it just took me so long getting all those clips together. I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully it's nowhere near as difficult as the high road.
No.